So there it is, a happy picture there. Soviets 1, 2 and 3. Nick, back to you.
And I suppose you could call that a reasonably satisfactory night for the Soviet Union. Some controversy, perhaps, over the final result. And there was a little disquiet last night over Alexander Fadeev. No one would argue that he should have won, but what people were slightly concerned about was the marking, because while he got 4 sixes, the British judge, Vanessa Riley, who's with me now, only gave him 5.6, and I think a lot of people wonder why. So let me ask you, Vanessa, why?
The ISU have a ruling that costumes have to be decent and modest, or dignified and modest. This costume did not match up to it, and there's a compulsory 0.2 deduction for any costume that doesn't, meet this requirement. So I deducted 0.2 from the artistic impression mark.
Well, I think we ought to have a quick look at the costume. What is wrong with that, Vanessa?
Well, at ice level, the costume became completely transparent from the waist down, and this was not dignified or modest.
Shouldn't you really concentrate on performance?
Well, I was concentrating on performance. I still had him first, but with a 0.2 deduction, it doesn't make any difference. I still had him placed first. It didn't alter his placing in any way at all, but this costume was not as it should have been.
I mean, since the performance last night, have you heard anyone else point out the costume to you, or do you think you're on your own?
I think most people thought the costume didn't meet the requirements.
You thought it was a bit saucy, did you?
Not for me to say it's saucy. It wasn't modest and it wasn't dignified.
Would you do the same again, bearing in mind that when those results went up, there were 4 sixes and you saw how way out of step you were?
I wasn't out of step. I still had him placed first, but I was just going by the ruling of costumes, and there is a compulsory 0.2 deduction for costumes.
All right,
so
what
I
did you
just
feel then
enforced
when
it.
you saw all those sixes up there and there was your humble little 5.6?
Well, a little bit of a heart flutter.
Did you?
A little.
So when we go to Paris, if he's wearing the same outfit, what will you do?
I would have to deduct again the 0.2 if the costume is as it is now. Yes.
Is it fair to say that your marks are often out of step with the others?
I am often out, but I'm not that much out. It often looks worse. I have a very big range of marks, and I make a big difference between very good and very bad. So you don't always have to give somebody 6 to have them first. The public often think if a judge is marking low that they're not much good. The marks aren't any good, but it isn't that at all. It's the placing at the end of the day is what counts. And
I think it was the Times this morning that said you were never one to follow the herd. What do you think of that?
I should take it as a compliment, perhaps, should I?
Any idea whether the other judges might actually follow you next time around?
Well, we'll have to wait
if he were wearing the same outfit.
I think we have to wait for the Worlds.
Well, do you discuss it?
Well, there's a judges' meeting at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning where the referee holds a meeting as to what's happened with the championships, and we have to wait and see what happens at the judges' meeting at 9 o'clock.
Will you be raising the subject of Alexander Fadeev's transparent lower half?
I expect the referee would be raising it. I wouldn't know, but with a 0.4 difference in the marks from last night, I would think it's highly likely that it will be raised, yes.
Well, Vanessa Riley, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, well, we're now moving over to our next part of the programme. We'll be looking further on to the ladies' final tomorrow afternoon, but here's Alison.
Well, talking about the ladies, Nick, I can tell you something. It's been a busy day for the man who takes care of Joanne Conway. Not only has he spent an anxious afternoon at the ringside watching her performance in the second stage of the ladies' competition, you may remember, this afternoon, he's also taken on a new pupil, but somehow I don't think this particular new pupil will be quite up to the Worlds that we were just discussing in Paris.
Well, over the years, I've had to do some pretty drastic things in the cause of ITV, yachting in the fastnet race, fencing with the British Olympic team, I suppose even working with Nick Owen, but I think this just about takes the biscuit. What do you reckon to the costume? Rather natty, isn't it? You probably don't think that I can skate. Actually, the only time I'm on the ice is when the gin and tonic runs out. But I want to perfect my triple toe loop, and I think I've got just the man to help me. Robin!
I'm here.
Where are you? Hold me up for a while. Nice to see you, Robin.
I'm in. All right.
Hi. Oh, I even stood up while I was shaking hands.
You're managing?
Yeah. I've been watching Alexander Fadeev, and I think that I'm almost there.
You're
but
ready?
I thought you could just hone me to perfection.
OK, I'll get you ready for the World Championships next month.
Right.
All right.
How long would it take, really, to get me actually confident on the ice? You know, so I can stand up like this, full of poise.
Do I have to tell you?
With spectacles, don't forget.
Yes, yes. Oh, a few good lessons, a few weeks.
OK. Where do we start, then?
Well, I think the first thing we've got to do is to try and stop you wobbling, which
a good idea.
means you're going to have to get down on the knees.
Yes.
Right.
Down there a bit.
Chest in, and the arms out. You want to use your arms like aeroplane. There
I'm
you
glad
go.
you didn't say paunch there.
No. Subtle. Now, there you are. There's your basic skating position. You don't want to quite so much in the shoulder. Just relax your arms. Just get basic skating position. Now, put your hands slightly in front. Right, imagine you're resting on top of the bar.
Oh, I've done that a few times.
Yeah, I figured you might have, right?
Right.
Right, and then you just want to basically start a nice little waddle. Chaplain walk or a penguin walk, I tell the
I'm
youngsters.
in a bit of a flight.
Right, no. Right, now see what happens, then you start to go back. If anybody ever feels himself starting to fall,
Down on the knees again.
down on the knees, body forward, because you're going to stop yourself in the toe. There you go. Now, what you want to do is just keep replacing one foot with the other one. Don't let them start to wander apart. Right, we want to keep your eyes straight ahead.
Have I got to 0.1 yet?
Well, we're sort of at that area.
How long before I can attempt something like a triple toe loop or a double axel?
A couple more minutes.
A couple more
We'll give
minutes.
it a few more minutes.
OK. OK, well, I think we're halfway there, aren't we?
You're halfway there.
Halfway
I think it's time you went out and did your stuff now.
OK. You're going to let me off on my own?
I think so.
What about the reverse flip? You know the one that you do? Do you think
Absolutely.
I could have a crack at that?
Oh, why don't you get comfortable with the skate, get
Right.
a little bit more speed going, and
Yeah, OK.
give it a whirl.
Here we go! That's Charlie Chaplin on ice, all right?
Whose idea was this?
I'm building it up. I thought that was pretty good, actually. You didn't think I was going to be able to do that, did you? Tell you what, Alexander Fadeev, you watch out. I'm after your gold medal.
And they say the camera never lies. Mind you, should see John Helm on a good night out.